Hi, and welcome to Leslie's Pool Care Tips. I'm Rick with today's topic, Pool Care 101. Pool care doesn't have to be complex. You just need to understand the basics, from circulation, filtration, cleaning, water testing, and water balance. And that's what I'm going to share with you today. In general, here's what you'll need: a telepole, a pool brush, a leaf rake, a test kit or test strips, and some water balancing chemicals. When it comes to circulating your water, you want to make sure that you're running your equipment long enough to get proper circulation for your pool. You know, a general rule of thumb is to run your pump for 1 hour per 10 degrees of outside temperature. That does, however, change depending on your geographical area and the manufacturer for your particular pump. So I recommend to read the manual for your pump because it could change depending on whether or not you have a single speed pump or a variable speed pump. Next, when it comes to your filter, there are 3 different types of filters. There's a sand filter, a DE filter, and one like this, which is a cartridge filter. It's important to know that if you have a sand filter or DE filter, they do need to be backwashed regularly. And if you have a cartridge filter, you want to make sure to keep those cartridges clean, so you'll need to disassemble it and clean them out every so often. Then lastly, when it comes to your pump, you want to make sure you're keeping your pump basket empty. Look, at this point, over by your equipment where this basket is, I always refer to this as your last resort basket. You want to make sure to keep this empty because as this gets full, it blocks the water going to the pump and through to the filter. So what happens is your pump ends up heating up and it can burn out. So, you know what, keep it simple and just make sure to empty this out regularly, meaning at least once a week. So when it comes to pumps, there are 3 types. There's your really common single speed pump, and some pools might have a 2-speed pump, and then what's gaining a tremendous amount of popularity are going to be your variable speed pumps. If you're looking to save some money and conserve energy, a variable speed pump is definitely the route to go. If you want to take a look, this particular pump is a variable speed pump. You'll always be able to tell because there's some type of control device right on the pump itself. Now, our pool side, we're going to talk about just some of your routine maintenance that you're going to do weekly around your pool. First thing I always like to do is empty my skimmer basket. So real simple, you're going to find the lid for your skimmer, going to open it up. I always want to make sure that you keep this basket clean and clear of any debris. So just pull the basket out, go ahead and empty it. As you might see, this particular basket has a handle. I absolutely love this thing. Most of the time, you'll probably see a basket such as this, but I prefer to keep my hands out of the creepy crawlies that might be in there when I empty it, so you get this handy little one with a handle. Makes it simple. Okay, so you've emptied your basket. Next, I just like to go around and you want to give your pool a good thorough brushing, go all the way around the perimeter. And look, I know brushing's not fun, but it is an important part of pool care maintenance, and it will help you save money by keeping the surface of your pool free of any dirt and debris that does build up on the walls every week. Once you brush the pool, then just go ahead and get a leaf skimmer or a leaf rake, and you want to get all of the debris out of the pool. You don't want that debris sitting in the pool too long. It can cause algae and it's often unsightly. Now that you've got your pool all cleaned up, it's time to test the water. You want to be sure to test your water once a week. There's a few different ways you can go about it. You can bring in a sample to have your water tested free at any one of the Leslie's pool supply stores, and they'll give you a customized treatment plan specifically for your pool. Or you can do it at home with test strips or a liquid test kit. Make sure that you keep some type of testing method at home so you can test it yourself when you're adding your chemicals. If you want to make it really simple, download our app. This way you can take the results right off of your test strips or from your liquid test kit, punch it into the app, and it's going to give you specific recommendations for your pool, taking all the guesswork out of it. Great. Now that you've tested the water, it's time to talk about just some of the routine chemicals that you're going to be using. So first and foremost, you need to make sure that you're keeping your water sanitized. And look, there are a few different ways to do it, so I'm only going to talk about the most common, which would be a salt system. If you've got a salt system, make sure it's operating properly. One of the more common is using tablets in a floater. If you're using tablets in a floater, just make sure you're keeping enough in the floater. And a little tip, make sure never to put your tabs in your skimmer basket. That's always a big no-no. It'll damage your basket, it could damage your equipment. It's also gonna save you money because you don't have water rushing over those tablets, so keep them in your floater. So to keep the water sanitized, you wanna be certain that you're shocking your pool weekly and keeping an eye on your phosphates to manage those levels below 100 part per billion. So you wanna be using a phosphate reducer. So now that we've walked through the steps needed to take care of your pool, it's just a matter of staying on top of it. This will become part of your household routine in no time at all. And if you have questions or run into something we haven't covered here, we're always here to help. For more information on pool care basics, check out our Leslie's blog or stop into your local Leslie's store. Thanks for joining me for Leslie's Pool Care Tips.